Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvighnam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om, salutations to all. So thank you Vipulji, Aparnaji for having this satsang, and you can hear me behind? Yes, I was saying thank you to Aparnaji and Vipulji for this satsang and the Bhiksha today. And Aparnaji said that it is during these 10 days of Ganesh Utsav that is going on, so all the more better. So our topic is, how should a Grhastha live? The sadhana for a Grhasthi basically. So who is a Grhasthi first? That is a question we have to ask. Who is a Grhasthi as per you?
One who's living daily life like this at home, taking care and building the family and enjoying all the...
So one who is living a daily life through the family, okay? Living in comfort zone.
So one on whom the other ashramas are dependent.
One is?
One on whom the other ashrams
One on whom the other ashrams are dependent. That's a very, very important aspect to understand. So Grhastha, yeah, one who is married, yeah. After the Brahmacharya ashram, one gets married, comes into Grhastha, right. So Grhastha ashram is one of the ashrams of life or the ultimate ashram of life?
One.
But we should remember that most of the people, their goal is to settle down as a Grhasthi, then they don't get out of that Grhastha ashram at all. Then their goal is settle the children into Grhasthi. Then the children also get settled into Grhastha. Then the goal is settle the grandchildren into Grhastha. See, duties we have, there is no doubt. But like he said earlier, Grhasthashram is the ashram. First of all, ashram means what? Where we put effort. All round effort we put, that is called ashram. So in different stages of life, efforts are put for different things. So Grhasthashram, what is the effort which is put? We have to find out. Like Brahmacharya ashram, what is the effort? To gain the knowledge. All efforts have to be put to gain knowledge. And God, Guru, scriptures, these are the three things which for a Brahmachari are the most important. Earlier days they used to go and stay with the teacher. They are called Antevasins. And they go and stay in the Gurukul. So they are committed only to study, to gain the knowledge. And so service of the teacher, service of the ashram, any work to be done there, gaining the knowledge, reflecting, studying the scriptures, worshipping Bhagwan, that is the purpose. And that is the effort to be put for that ashram. Like that, what is the effort to be put in Grhastha ashram? So why does somebody get into Grhastha ashram first of all?
To build a family, to continue the
So to build a family, continue the lineage. So one purpose why one gets into Grhastha ashram is continue the lineage. Okay, any other purpose?
for companionship.
Companionship, okay.
To exhaust the vasanas.
To exhaust vasanas.
The old context, it was to validate the Gyan received with the experience and also to evolve and find an exit to the next evolve.
So it is one stage of life where I have duties towards, so one aspect is duty towards the family which is there. So the lineage of the family continues. If not my family's lineage, somebody else's family's lineage. If it is a girl, then the girl gets married and goes and continues the lineage of another family. But that is called santati. So the children have to carry forward the lineage. Is Grhasthashram meant for enjoyment?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes and no. How can it be yes and no both?
Enjoyment in a dharmic.
So enjoyment in a dharmic way. So our culture does not say don't enjoy. See, artha, kama, dharma and moksha. 4 pursuits of human life. In that, dharma is the knowledge one has to gain in the first ashram. Why I should gain the knowledge in the first ashram? So that I know what to do with my rest of the life. Today, is that not a problem that many people, young people are facing? They don't know what is the purpose of life. Why am I born? Why should I get married? What is the whole thing going on here? Clarity is not there. And then somebody very intelligently says to find the purpose is the purpose of life. That sounds very intellectually stimulating, yes. But what you will keep find the purpose of whole life? What is the purpose of life? You will keep finding that only whole life. Then when will you achieve? That is some jugglery with words, but it is a hollow statement. Finding the purpose can't be the purpose of life. Now, purpose of life has to become very clear right in the beginning. And what is the purpose? Param Ananda Prapti and Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti. That is the purpose. I am here to attain supreme happiness and complete freedom from fear, sorrow. Complete freedom, not relief. Cure. That's the purpose of life itself. See, that's the big picture. I have to keep that big picture in mind. How will I get that? Swamiji, Grhasthashram we will get it. Can Grhasthashram give me permanent happiness?
No.
Can Brahmacharya ashram give?
No.
Vanaprastha can give? Sannyas can give? Sannyas can't give. So फिर what will give?
Any of them can give if lived in the right way?
Any of them can give if lived in the right way, directly or indirectly is the question then. If I live right way, I may get it if we think like that. So what is required to gain that first I have to ask. Before I answer whether I will get in Brahmacharya, Grhastha, Vanaprastha or Sannyas, permanent happiness and complete freedom from sorrow, fear, misery. What do I need to gain that?
Realization of yourself.
Realization of the self, knowledge of the self. Vairagya is a means to that. So knowledge of the self I need. Which ashram will give me knowledge of the self? Then Brahmacharya ashram only we should remain, no?
In fact,
All ashrams give knowledge of the self.
No.
keep gaining and learning.
Keep gaining and learning. Okay.
So the way we study, we can get it in any.
The way we study in any ashram we can get. Is the ashram giving that or something else you are doing giving that? Think about it.
Something else. What you are doing actually.
It's the effort that one puts in to gain that knowledge and prepare oneself to absorb that knowledge that matters. So first of all, Brahmacharya ashram we can get. See, the knowledge of that in terms of the big picture one can attain in any stage of life. Even if one has not got till now, one can always get it. That intellectual knowledge one can definitely get at any stage of life. And the earlier one gets it, the better. One should not postpone that. Because the purpose of human life is only that. The Upanishad say, Atma va are drashtavyaha that Atma should be known, the self should be known. How? Shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha. One should listen, reflect and contemplate. If I know clearly that this is the purpose of life, that I must realize the self, who am I in my true nature, I should know that. Then a person who has studied for 25 years or whatever time one has studied, got this understanding, understood what is my swadharma, found a profession according to that. Now that person has to decide that to get that ultimate goal of life, do I need to get into Grhasthashram or can I bypass Grhasthashram? Why? Because the knowledge has to be attained. To gain the knowledge, what is the main qualification? Intellectual knowledge one may get, but intuitive insight has to arise as to who am I. I am not this body, mind, intellect, I am infinite consciousness. That intuitive knowledge, intuitive insight will arise in a pure mind. A pure mind, a single pointed mind, a subtle mind. Mind means mind and intellect both. Agra buddhi, sukshma buddhi, shuddha buddhi, all the three are required. Which will come through bhakti, which will come through seva, which will come through vairagya. Now, do I have bhakti, seva, vairagya bhav already? Is my mind already pure, single pointed and subtle? If it is, then I may not even need to get into Grhasthashram. If it is not, why it is not? Because there are other desires. And our culture does not say that those desires are bad, you should shun desire, you should not have any worldly desires. It does not say that at all. Desires are there, it is a sense of incompleteness in us when we identify with the body, mind or intellect, it will arise. So I want to fulfill and feel more complete through some fulfillment of desires. Based on so many lives of my karmas, I have some desires now. So one has to be alert and identify. Now, do I have enough vairagya that I know that this world is temporary, it is ephemeral, it is perishable and it will not give me the supreme happiness. No matter how well I live in the world, how dharmically I will live in the world, how selflessly I live in the world, by itself that is not capable of giving Atmagyan. Atmagyan comes from either nididhyasan, when one listens to the Sadguru, or through Bhagavad Kripa. It will come when one keeps remembering Bhagavan. If I am ready for that, like great people like Shankaracharya ji or Vivekanand ji, so many of them, even some Grhasthis, they have, not Grhasthis, even some other people who were non-sannyasis but who did not take the path of sannyas, like Jnaneshwar Maharaj. He didn't take the path of sannyas, nor he got into the Grhastha, but realized the truth. So if I am having that temperament, then I don't need to get into Grhastha. If I have some desires and I want to fulfill them, then one gets into Grhasthashram. The purpose of getting into Grhasthashram is to evolve, to develop more bhakti, to develop more selflessness and to develop more vairagya. That's the purpose of Grhasthashram. That's why it is the ashram on which all the other three ashrams depend. Traditionally, brahmacharis were funded by the Grhasthis. Education was free. Students who go there study freely, 10, 12 years they study. Then when they are completing the education, if they feel like offering something, they offer to continue that knowledge further free for the other students. That is the Guru Dakshina ceremony system. So Grhasthis used to support that. Kings, Grhasthis, many people, they will support. Then Vanaprasthis is also supported by Grhasthis. Sannyasis are also offered Bhiksha by Grhasthis. So it's a very important ashram whereby by supporting the other three ashrams one develops more seva bhav also. The simplest thing I'll tell you. What did I get? That question has to dissolve. That's the success of Grhasthi's life. Today that is the question on which people are fighting over each other and separating and divorcing and pata nahi kya ho raha hai. Because that self-importance has increased so much. What did I get out of this relationship? I didn't get anything out of it, and it's all about you only, and all that goes on. My relationship with the people who are in the family started from when? Only when I was born now. Some karmic connection may have been there in the past to exhaust which I have come now. But will this continue? Till karma lasts, it will continue. After that, it will stop. In Adhyatma Ramayana, Adhyatma Ramayana is written by Bhagavan Vedavyasji. That is the Vedantic outlook on Ramayana. So Vedavyasji wrote not only Mahabharata, he wrote Ramayana also. That is the Adhyatma Ramayana. In that he gives a very nice analogy that in the flow of a river there are lots of twigs, leaves which flow together for some time, then they part, again after some time they come together, again they part, it goes on. That way we come in this flow of life. Some jivas travel together for some time, then they part, again after some time they may meet, it continues. Main relationship is with that river. Same way, main relationship is with this life. So many jivas come and go. In one life itself we meet so many people or not. How many friends of your school do you remember now? Tell me. Even while when you were studying in the school, how many friends did you actually have? In your class, if there are some 40 people, your friends will be how many? 5, 10, 15. In that, best friend will be 1, 2, 3, that's all. And after many years, even if you have an alumni and you meet on Facebook or you have some group or whatever, how many of them actually are close? Very few. Even those close relationships, sometimes they just break. So if I understand this very clearly, that my purpose when I am coming into a Grhastha is to purify my mind, is to develop bhakti, it is to develop vairagya, it is to develop seva. Rest of it is a means for that. If that picture is not clear to me, then I will get stuck in many small things. Then that Grhasthashram becomes painful. Then one says, oh, why did I get into Grhastha life? I would have been better off not getting into it. So many people, they say, Swamiji, you are so lucky. आप बच गए, आप संसार में नहीं फंसे, हम तो पिस रहे हैं संसार में. Kabir Das ji said a very nice doha. He said, चलती चक्की देख के दिया कबीरा रोए, दो पाटन के बीच में साबुत बचाना कोई. दो पाटन के बीच में, between these two grinding stones, the grains which are put, none of them will be escaping. They all get crushed, powdered. What are those two grinding stones? People think that those two grinding stones are my family and my work. पिस गए इसके बीच में हम लोग. Where is the time for me? There is no time for me. That two grinding stones are ahamta and mamata. Mamata, I and mine. Bas. It is I and mine. Those are the two stones in which anybody is stuck. Even sannyasi will be stuck. One is responsibility, other is.
They don't know the reason, right? So they feel it's a risk.
Nobody gives purpose and all when you're young. It's only about making money and how you get, because we think linear and we're taught to think linear. So
Correct. So clarity is not there, purpose is not told, and one not only does main purpose is not known. In that place, something else is known. That life is meant to be enjoyed. Now Grhasthashrama is going to limit me. And they have all kinds of logic. How can you spend one life with one person fully, forever? That is a test. That is what will purify the mind. It's very easy to go on changing people. Because nobody will know who am I really. By the time my true nature comes out, I am changing the partner. Finish. How will I ever grow? That one doesn't understand. So Grhasthashram, when one gets into, there is a lot of sacredness given to Grhasthashram. Grhasthashram is not looked down upon as a source of bondage in our culture. Grhasthashram is looked upon as a means to liberate oneself, as a means to purify, to get vairagya. Been there, done that. Khatam. What they call done and dusted. Seen everything in life, power, pleasure, prestige, popularity, name, fame, everything, seen through it and understood that this is all that this world can give me. No temptation will be there कि ये भी चाहिए और. If that state has come to us, that means my Grhasthashram has become fulfilled. And there is no more craving. Duties, if I want to do, I may continue to do towards family, etc. Interesting thing is our culture says there are two different opinions. One, it says that as soon as your grandchild is born, Vanaprastha should start. Other one says that 10 years, when the grandchild is 10 years old, then your Vanaprastha should start. The generation gap problems will not come only. People remember this. Hand over to somebody and go. Now you lived your life. Remember Bhagavan now. That is the only true reality. What else is there? Everything is changing anyways. So to get this mindset, how do I live in Grhastha? The sadhana that I have to do in Grhastha, see, sadhana depends on sadhya. Very simple. The means that I apply, sadhana means means. The means that I apply, it dependent on what? The goal. No? Where do I want to reach? Depending on that, I will start and take the appropriate route. If I don't know only where I have to reach, will I start walking?
No.
But life is going on. Lifetimes go on like that. Destination is not known. कहाँ जा रहे हैं? कहीं तो जा रहे हैं. And we think that okay, we are moving, we are getting a job, we are getting educated, we are getting money, we are getting some movement is happening in life. But where will it reach you? That's why after coming to midlife, then people suddenly have crisis. Whatever I thought I wanted, I got. Now what? Now I don't know what to do. Why? Because the main purpose was not clear. Now if the main purpose is clear, the main purpose is Atma Jnana. Whether you say Atma Jnana or whether you say Bhagavad Prapti, both are same. That has to become my goal first. If I did not get this knowledge before as a student, whatever it is, doesn't matter. While living as a Grhasthi, if satsang has come into our lives, some punya karma must have fructified, then satsang comes into life. And for that only, one has to do more and more karmas which are dharmic and which will lead to punya. Punya is very, very important. So first thing as a Grhasthi, what one should do? Accumulate punya. Maximum punya accumulate, because that is the capital. The currency of this creation is punya. Not euro dollar and US dollar and yen and all that. That will keep changing. Uska exchange rate bhi badalte rehta hai. So many nations have now come together to say कि no, dollar will not be the supreme. वो चलते रहेगा दुनिया में. What we have to do punya karma, because even to get a human body we need punya. To get satsang we need punya. To have good health we need punya. To have loving family we need punya. For everything we need punya. And Grhasthashram is the ashram where one should do many things to attain that. Sannyas is the ashram which one walks beyond punya and papa. But Grhastha, in a dharmic way, I have to attain punya. I can't ignore, because that opportunity to gain punya comes only in Grhastha life. It is not there in any animal life. It is not there in plant life. It is not there in any devata's life. All other yonis are called Bhoga Yoni. They are only exhausting karmas. They are not karma yonis. This human body alone is karma yoni. I can add karmas and increase my karmic bundle, or I can exhaust the existing karmas without adding new karmas, or I can add more sattvic karmas. It all depends. Or rajasic, tamasic, add more and create more bondage. It is all choice which we have. So first sadhana of a grhasthi is what? To make the right choice. So big picture has to be clear, that is one. The means is purify the mind, make it single pointed, sharp, subtle, develop bhakti and vairagya. That's the means. Through bhakti vairagya, get the knowledge, go to the teacher, get satsang, gain the knowledge of the self. That has to become very clear. Now to get such a mind of a purified mind, single pointed, sharp, subtle, devoted mind, what are the sadhanas to do? Make first and foremost all dharmic choices. If there is any type of, so what our culture says, 4 types of karmas are there. Nitya karma, which are my daily duties, taking care of the body, doing work, duty towards the family, all that is not daily duty, whatever I have to do, in which there is no choice. I have to do, that's a duty. See, where there is no choice, if I do that, I can do that in a way where I can do it with alertness, attention, and do it nicely. I can do it with complaints, cribbing, oh, I have to do this, I don't like this, why should I do this? Or I can even ignore it and be tamasic. Tamasic, rajasic, sattvic. All the 3 possibilities are there. Do you know there are so many people who don't get up every day to take bath? They don't brush their teeth also. Yeah. There are people who get into such levels of depression, they don't want to get exposed to light. It's terrific. Sometimes it is laziness also, some people in general also have. But all this happens in life. So as a human being, what am I supposed to do? Nitya karma I have to do. And naimittik karma is my occasional duty. What I have towards myself and others. So birthdays, their anniversaries, there some samskars are there, marriage is there, festivals are there, all this happens, naimittik karma. Some people do nitya karma as naimittik karma, that's the problem. Some people do nitya karma also as naimittik only. Occasionally they will get up, occasionally they will take bath, occasionally they... These 2 Bhagavan says in the Gita, niyatam kuru karmatvam. First instruction he gives in the 3rd chapter of the Gita to Arjun, as far as Arjun's level is concerned, is he says, you do your obligatory duties. He was a Kshatriya, to fight the war, to protect dharma, that is his obligatory duty. Now he wants to run away from that. So many people, we don't do our obligatory duties, that becomes the first cause of our sorrow. Then that adds karmic problems also. Did Dhritarashtra do his obligatory duty?
No.
The whole war would not have happened if he had done the obligatory duty of a king, and he would have said, yes, give this half of the kingdom belongs to Pandavas, give it, finished. It's so objective. But no. Emotions, they clouded him, attachment overwhelmed him, he didn't do his duty. And he became the cause of the death of all his 100 children. And not only 100 children, how many people died in Mahabharata war?
4 million.
40 lakh people died, 4 million people died in Mahabharata war. Forget the elephants and the horses and other creatures. This human beings, 4 million died, and male population. One of the main reasons, if you see research, you will find one of the main reasons why people started demanding and leaning more towards the male progeny is this Mahabharata war. You see the gender imbalance in the society after that war. 40 lakh male population erased. How many females will be there after that against the males? Male population is much lesser. That's why they started demanding, may we have a son. See, dowry system and all is much later which has come, and that is not even a pratha in our culture. That has been introduced so much more later, and that's human greed. It is not a part of the Sanatan Vedic Dharma at all. Sanatan Vedic Dharma speaks about Stridhan, and that Stridhan is given out of voluntary will of the parent, and only that woman has the right on that. Nobody else has the right, nor the husband, nor the in-laws. Nobody has the right on that. Where the question of dowry coming into play. So, attachment does this. So, first thing a Grhasthi should do is to find out, am I doing my obligatory duties or not? If this one instruction is followed, this itself will purify the mind a lot, because the understanding of duty has to become clear. See, our whole Sanatana Dharma is based on duty, it is not based on rights. This right system has come as a Western concept, and it's not that we should not fight for rights. Mahabharat war happened or not? But that is the last option. After you do your duties, after you finish all the other possibilities, then you come to that. Here people are not doing duties only. Then they are fighting for their rights. How many people actually go and vote? Next year our elections will come. Think about it. Have all of you voted in the earlier elections? Very good. Otherwise the urban population doesn't vote only.
40%.
Half of them they go away for some chutti. Then they have no right to complain about the government. Because what was their election duty? You did not exercise that vote. Now you can't complain. Sit quietly for next 5 years. Don't talk one thing against the government, how much ever right or wrong they may be. You didn't do the duty. So many people, we don't do exercise. We don't do our study, we don't do our meditation. So obligatory duties, if we come to that, what defines my duties? Maximum we may think that okay, my family, I have to bring them up, and my children and my husband and my spouse and maybe their family, 2 families, so I have duty towards them. Our culture gives the concept of Pancha Mahayagnas. That's the duty of a Grhasthi. First duty in that comes is what? Is Devaran. It is my debt towards the Devatas, towards the phenomenal forces and towards Bhagavan himself. Without Bhagavan, nothing will happen. So first thing to do, is what? As a Grhasthi, I have to wake up before sunrise and welcome Surya Devata. Swamiji, sunrise though we have not seen for many days now. We get up only after sunrise is over. We sleep only when sun is going to rise. So many people. In the scripture they say that those who get up after sunrise, they are called Rakshasas. Anyway, one may say, oh, that's a very extreme thing to say, but today metabolism is saying that or not? Biology is saying that, dietitians are saying that or not? You eat between sunrise and sunset. Don't eat after that. And do you know so many hormones will not release in the body if we are not awake in the early morning. And so many will not release properly at night if we are not asleep at night and we are sleeping late. Today research has shown, enough research has, this melatonin problem so many people have, they keep taking melatonin tablets to sleep because their biological clock has messed up. Young people who sleep very late, they say they will live lesser. Today enough research is there on that. So first duty of a Grhasthi is Devaran. Devaran is done how? I have to wake up early, before sunrise, take bath, welcome Surya Devata, offer Arghya. That is the first duty of a Grhasthi. Whichever is your Ishta Devata is a secondary thing. A Grhasthi, do you know, to become a Grhasthi, Janevu Samskar is important. Do you know that? So some people get their Janev Samskar done just one day before marriage, which is a terrible thing to do. One is supposed to do a Janev Samskar before learning the Vedas so that one will study the Veda properly and chant the Gayatri Mantra every day. 50 years of one's life one is minimum supposed to dedicate to the japa of Gayatri. From Brahmacharya ashram to Grhastha, continue in Vanaprastha also, but definitely in Grhasthashram. That mantra is a essence of the Vedic knowledge, Gayatri Mantra. So my day has to begin with that. Gurudev used to begin the day with Om. So as soon as I get up, 3 Oms one should chant and chant the Pratha Smarana Shlokas. Begin the day with that. Whichever is your Ishta Devata, chant the Pratha Smarana Shloka of that Ishta Devata. Then get up, take bath. For children we teach Karagre Vasate Lakshmi Karamule Saraswati Karamadhye Tu Govinda Prabhate Karadarshanam. That is small children. As one grows up, one has found one's Ishta Devata, then one should chant the mantra of the Ishta Devata. And there are shlokas of every main deity. The morning shlokas are there. Chant. If you find no shlokas are difficult to chant, then remember at least your Ishta Devata. Whichever way you want to remember, but remember Bhagavan. Get up, take bath. While taking bath also you can remember Bhagavan. How? Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. Or just chant Om Gangayai Namaha or anything, whichever sacred river if you feel, remember, chant. Then what will happen? Do you know, while taking bath, a very beautiful thing happens. See, this is the genius of the great rishis. We have to appreciate how they have embedded sadhana in the daily mundane acts, so-called mundane acts, they have added sadhana in that. This heart of ours is where Bhagavan stays. Ishvara Sarva Bhutana Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Bhagavan is in the hearts of all the beings, throbbing as aham, aham, aham. When we take bath, Abhishek is happening on Bhagavan. So taking bath itself is a sadhana. Eating food is a sadhana. Waking up in the morning is a sadhana. As a Grhasthi, if I remember all this, my mind will become purified or not. Swamiji, we don't have time to do sadhana because very difficult it is. We have a lot of work and family pressure, social pressure, this, that. You are eating food, taking bath, bas divinize it. Ho gaya. There is no excuse our culture gives for not doing sadhana. If somebody says, I don't have time to do sadhana, you are living, no? You are breathing, no? While you are breathing only, breath is saying, Saha, aham, I am that, I am that, I am that. It is saying that. So hum, it goes on saying. There is no time for sadhana. It's only attention is not there. So taking bath, I can remember Bhagavan. Go out and welcome Surya Devata. Offer one, one vessel full of water. Now people are saying so many things. That when you offer that water to Surya, if you look at the sunrise through that water, it will affect your brain in a such and such way, and some gland will open and this will happen and that will happen. Enough research people are doing now, and that's good. Let them find out. So, Devarana is done when I welcome Surya Devata. Then I light a lamp in front of Tulsi. Then I do my Ishta Devata's puja. Surya Arghya, when we offer, we can chant 12 names of Surya, we can chant Gayatri Mantra. If you are initiated into Gayatri Mantra, you should chant the Gayatri Mantra proper. Do the Sandhya Vandan 108 times, chant the Gayatri. If that is not done, chant at least 12 names. Offer water. Be grateful to the sun. It will do many things. Light in the morning, when we expose ourselves to sunlight, it has a great impact on the mind, on the prana, on the body, on everything. So Devaran is done. In the traditional method, after doing all this, Ishtadevata Puja is what I am saying today. They used to do Agnihotra and they would do the offerings in the fire. So that is the first thing. Devaran. Worship Bhagavan, worship the Ishtadevata, worship Surya Devata. Traditionally, if you see, there will be 5 of them in the household. That's a Panchayatana Puja. So Shiva, Vishnu, the Shakti, Ganesha and Surya. 5 will be there. Worship all the 5. Because all other forms will come under these 5 only. Shankaracharya ji added one more, made it Shanmata Sthapana, is Kaumara, is a Kartikeya. So Adi Shankaracharya added one more. Shanmata it is called. So in the many Hindu households you will find all these will be there. So worship. But the idea is slowly through that you identify one as your Ishtadevata. And then focus on that. That's my duty as a Grhasthi. So Nitya Karma, when we say daily duty, first is Devaran, second is Rishiran. These great rishis, they have given us such beautiful culture. Every day we are supposed to remember Sapta Rishis. That remembrance of Sapta Rishis itself will give enough punya. Who are the Sapta Rishis? Vasishtha, then Vishwamitra, very good. Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, then
Agastya.
Agastya, Bharadwaj, correct. Huh? Kashyap. Then, do you know every kalpa the Saptarishis change also? But some of them will remain common. And don't think these rishis are dead and gone. They remain in subtle form. Vasishtha Rishi was the, what do you say, he is the guru of the entire Ikshvaku Vamsha. Right from the Ikshvaku's time up to Bhagwan Ram, and even after that, Love, Kush, it goes on. They remain in subtle forms also. Bolo, or kaun? Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, Kashyap, Agastya, then? Okay, Bharadwaj, chalo, 5. Or Vyasa is not a Saptarishi. See, this is our condition.
6 with God.
No, 5 only we got. 2 more. Google it. Chat GPT ko pucho. We have come to this condition. No? As Hindus, we don't know our own rishis. People who given us this culture, because of whom this culture is alive, we've forgotten that only. Not Yajnavalkya. Search. Gautam. Atri. Gautam Rishi, Atri Rishi, 7. As I said, some names keep changing depending on some different kalpas. But the point is remembrance of these 7 rishis. Just remember 7 rishis, thank them for the culture that they have given us. And living that culture is Rishiran. Studying about the scripture and sharing that knowledge is also Rishiran. So as a Grhasthi, my duty is to study my scripture. We have forgotten that scriptural connection only. And unfortunately, we glorify people who say that I have not read any scriptures, but I am just telling you out of my experience. How much can be the experience of an individual? No doubt, however great it is. You see any great master, do you think the experience they did not have? Shankaracharya didn't have experience or what? Why did he go on reading so many scriptures and then speak on the scriptures and write new commentaries on that? Because that is time tested wisdom. 1. 2. Scriptures are very necessary to know what is right and wrong, to also know whether I am being taken for a ride by my own ego or not. Who takes us for a ride maximum is our own ego. Scripture will keep us alert. Sarvasya lochanam shastram, it is said. The scriptures are the eyes of all of us. Imagine walking through life without eyes. How difficult it is. But we are going through like that only right now. No awareness of what the scripture is saying, what is right, what is wrong. We have not studied our Manusmriti and other Smritis, and we think that, oh, they are regressive old texts. Forget not knowing scriptures. Many of us are in a condition where we look down upon it. And in the name of revolution and rebellion, we are like not even understanding what they are saying and trying to set some new precedent with the limited knowledge one has. Kanya dhan nahi, kanya maan hona chahiye. And so many people think they are so forward in their thinking, and they say, we are not going to indulge in the regressive practice of kanya dhan. We will not do kanya dhan. As a Grhasthi, that is the greatest dhan you can ever do. Nothing will give you more punya than kanya dhan. And that does not mean kanya is an object. Just because a dhan is done doesn't mean anything which is given is an object. Prem dhan is done, so prem is an object. Jnana dhan is done, jnana is an object. No. Kanya is not treated as an object. Kanya is the Graha Lakshmi. She is worshipped as the Lakshmi. But where people understand that? So we have to study the scriptures. In the scriptures, as a Grhasthi, so before one enters into Grhasthashram, the convocation address by the Rishi in Taittiriya Upanishad to the brahmacharis who are departing. In that convocation address, he says, Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Do not postpone your Swadhyaya and pravachan. If you actually take that convocation address of Taittiriya Upanishad, everything that a Grhasthi has to do is there in that. Matrudevo bhava, Pitrudevo bhava, Acharya devo bhava, Atithi devo bhava. 4. That has to happen. Deva Pitru Karyabhyam na pramaditavyam. Don't postpone the work for the Devatas, the duty you have towards Devatas and towards the Pitrus. Pitrus is our forefathers, ancestors. Shraddha Karma will come now after the Anant Chaturdashi, 10 days. Do the Shraddha Karma appropriate time. Do all the, when they depart, do the Antyeshti properly. Then do follow the traditions that they have set in the home, because it takes a lot of generations to build a nice tradition. One generation says, I don't want to do it, finish, the tradition is gone. How many young people do the Gayatri Mantra today? It's not there. People from abroad are coming here, sitting, listening to Gayatri Mantra, doing the japa, understanding, changing and adopting this higher way of life, and our people here don't know anything. So, very important it is to study the scripture, share that with people, and in that the instruction is Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Don't postpone. Don't say that I will do this after retirement. So many people do that, no? No time today, Swamiji. Spirituality is post-retirement plan. When? When I am not able to even see properly, when I will read the scripture? How? Now you just think about it. Today, has life expectancy increased or not? I was reading the other day, it said from 50 years it has come up to 80, 85 today. Minimum it is that much. They are saying by 2050, life expectancy will be 120 years. And by the end of the century, it will be 150 years. क्या करोगे इतना समय? If the clarity is not there, कि what to do? So it is important to have the clarity that study the scripture, share it. Every day I need to study, if not every day, at least once in 2 days. Which scripture should I study? Definitely study that which is connected to my Ishtadevata. Apart from anything else that you study, see today Vedic knowledge we may not be able to study all the 4 Vedas, etc. definitely study Gita and Upanishads and Ramayana. If you can study Mahabharata, great, but it's very large, but please study. And go to original books, translations are available. Don't read somebody's commentaries without knowing what is the original. You can read commentaries, but find out whose commentary. What are they trying to say? Just because somebody is popular means nothing. There are some people who have become very popular. But if you read it, oh Rama, what is written in original, what this man has written, something else only. Some of them don't have any clue of what Sanskrit word also means. I am not taking any names, but there are enough people like that. So I should find out who are the people who belong to the tradition, who I understood properly. Read. There are enough such people available. See, Gita Press books are so authentic. Proper translations are there. English may be a little difficult there, but at least you know this is a proper authentic translation. Otherwise we read anybody. And in the name of adaptation, many of them, they compromise with the tradition itself completely. So, study of the scripture. So, Devaran, then Rishiran, Pitraran, that is the third duty towards my forefathers, ancestors. Now people think, oh, if they have already taken birth, then what is the point of me doing any Shraddha? First of all, were you doing it for their body? You are doing it for the Jivatma. And Jivatma can be anywhere. You are connected to the Jivatma in a subtle form. It will reach them, don't worry. Even if they have taken a gross body or not taken a gross body, you don't worry. That is Bhagwan's job. And he has put so many devatas in charge, they will take your wishes and convey it. So our duty is to do Pitru Karma. Otherwise Pitru Dosha will happen. Then people say, oh, this is not real, what you call it, it's not scientific. Okay, wait for science for some time, after some time they will come to that. Can science be a valid means of knowledge for these subtler aspects of life where you can't see sensorily?
No.
Hardly. Gurudev used to say this, If you go to a doctor, will you ask the doctor any problem about law? No. Will you go to a lawyer and say that I had diarrhea last night? What he will say? Put a petition. Beyond that, what can one say? But how are we saying prove God scientifically? God can't be proved scientifically because God is beyond the range of senses. Something which is beyond the range of senses, you are trying to fit it inside the senses. It's like saying that show me ultraviolet rays and infrared rays in the range of my vision. It is not possible. You wear those glasses, you will see. You don't wear those glasses, you can't see. So the point is, all this exists. This is why Shastra has to be studied. As a Grhasthi, I have a lot of duty towards my scripture. Because that will guide my life, my perception, my entire vision and how I will live my life. So study the scripture, do the karmas for the Pitrus, Deva Pitru Karyabhyam na Pramaditavyam, take care of the beings around. We chant Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya. Every day is a universal prayer we chant for well-being of everybody. Then, before we eat food, we take out separately for what? For the dog, for the crow, for the cow, for the small little living beings. All that is Bhuta Yajna. I should take care of the environment. I should replenish the resources that I am using. Today people are talking so much about climate change and carbon footprint and reduce this carbon footprint and all that. No? What does our culture say? Feed the birds, nurture some plants, ensure that the cow is there in your house. And one thing very clearly the culture says, the pet has to remain outside the house, not inside the house. Today if we say this, people are not very happy. That is their choice. They want to keep inside or outside. But the culture says the animal should be outside the house. You may have whatever pet you have, hen is there, chicken is there, goat is there, dog is there, whoever is there. But they are outside the house. Today, don't we see so many diseases shifting from the animal into the human cycle? Because we are eating also that type of food, and through the other methods of interaction also it will increase. So, scripture says something in a certain vision. Now, how much people apply it is up to them, but there is a deeper vision behind that. So, that is Bhuta Yajna. Towards all the other beings, one has to be taking care of all the beings, because we are a interdependent creation. We can't live only for ourselves. As a Grhasthi, that's how one has to live. And then is Atithi Yajna or Manushya Yajna. Anybody who comes uninformed, who just comes knocking at your door, you may or may not know them. They are hungry, feed them. Do you know in South India, even today in many houses, if you see, outside the house there will be a place to sit. You know that? Like this is one kind of a place they will make for the traveler, wayside traveler to just sit. From hot sun you want to just relax, you sit there. They put some pot of water and keep there. So many things like that. Atithi is literally like that. Without tithi, without informing, a person has come. Now this is niyatam kuru karmatvam. Do the obligatory duty. This is all my obligatory duty. Now in that you can add nation also, duties towards the nation, duty towards environment, duty towards the globe, whatever you want to add. Basic 5 sets are there. If I keep focused on these 5 and I keep doing this, my heart will expand a lot. Ego will reduce a lot. And bhakti will increase. Bhavana for Bhagavan will increase. Because Devaran will increase that. Rishiran will give us enough clarity to get Vairagya. And Bhutarin, Pitrurin and Atithi, Manushyarin. These 3 will give enough Chitta Shuddhi. Seva Bhav will increase. If I do all this, happily Grhasthashram Sadhana is taken care of. All I have to do is this much only. 5 yajnas, Pancha Mahayajnas they are called. If I follow these Pancha Mahayajnas, in and through my daily life only I can do this. Except that Deva Yajna and this Rishi Yajna, where I need to sit exclusively, study and do meditation or japa or sadhana. Other things are embedded as a part of life only. Pitru Yajna also, sometimes I may have to sit and exclusively do something, but otherwise it is embedded. So if I follow this much, Grhastha sadhana is taken care of. Important point is only this, that when I do all this, I dedicate all this to Bhagavan. So I may still do duties towards family, I may still earn wealth, I may still enjoy. What does the culture say? Do everything in a dharmic way. So artha, kama, dharma and moksha is what we started with, right? So dharma knowledge one gets in brahmacharya ashram. Then pursue artha and kama in Grhasthashram, but in a dharmic way. Vedanta does not say that don't pursue artha and kama, enjoy, get the wealth also, but that is not the whole focus of life. Today that only has become the focus of life. How I define myself with the wealth I have, with the clothes that I wear, with the kind of phone I have. If I have iPhone 15 Pro Max, aha, that is the latest phone and I feel I am on the top of the world. Look at the way people are fighting over each other. Look at the stores, you see that videos, oh baap re. अरे तुमको मिल जाएगा भाई, क्या मारा मारी हो रही है वहाँ पे. Look at the Apple stores, my God, people are literally fighting, hitting each other for what? One gadget. अरे तुमको अभी नहीं मिलेगा तो 1 महीने के अंदर मिल जाएगा ना, क्या बड़ी बात है. Oh, those things are defining me. Who needs whom actually? Objects need us or we need the object? We are defining ourselves through the object, through certain types of clothes, certain types of communication devices, certain types of house, certain place of stay certain way of working, which means I don't value myself enough. That's all it means. That my value comes from other things, it does not come from me. Is that not a pathetic way to live? Everything else will define me except who am I as a person. What nonsense is that? But that's how the material world lives. A Grhasthi does not define oneself like that. Grhasthi says, I am here to serve, purify my mind, I will do what best I can in a dharmic way. Bhagavan says, I am that desire which is not against dharma. Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. Balam balavatam chaham kama raga vivarjitam. I am that strength which is devoid of attachment. So the purpose of Grhastha life also is to become detached. Swamiji, how can we become detached? We are Grhasthis after all. Who gave the knowledge of Gita to whom? Sannyasi gave to another sannyasi?
No.
One Grhastha.
Yeah.
One Grhastha gave to another Grhastha. And who is that one Grhastha? Who had 16,008 wives? Whose not one wife complained that he doesn't give quality time to me. Swamiji, he was Krishna Bhagavan. Point is, he was in a Grhastha form, no? And he gave to Arjun. Both of them in the middle of the battlefield are talking about detachment. Whole problem of Arjun, collapse of Arjun happened because of attachment. Attachment is not, something that is to be glorified, and it is not a sign to define a sign of a definition of a Grhasthi. Who said that if you are a Grhasthi you have to be attached? That's the assumption people have made or not. Detachment is for sannyasi, attachment is for Grhasthi. Kaun bola? Just like that. To get out of attachment only we have come into Grhastha. If I already had detachment, I would have become sannyasi or not. Then why did I get into Grhasthashrama if I want to continue to remain attached? Then how will I come out of it? And honestly I tell you, if after getting into Grhasthashrama I don't get detachment, that means I am absolutely dull-headed fool. Really I am telling you. इतना मार खा खा के भी डिटैचमेंट नहीं कर सकते तो क्या करेंगे और कितना खाएंगे और दुनिया से सोचो. Have we not got enough slaps in the world? Tap, tap, tap. From people also, from situations also, from objects also. How much more will you suffer, Baba? You think about it. Any cause of sorrow, if you write down, you will finally come to main cause will be attachment only. If I am not attached, nothing can make me miserable. One little coffee is enough to make me miserable or not. I want coffee in the morning, otherwise my day doesn't start well. Finished. Your day doesn't start well and everybody else's day is in a trouble because you didn't get a coffee. People can't sleep in a bed which is they are not used to it. They want a particular type of pillow only. If that type of pillow is not there, sleep doesn't come properly. Morning coffee I can't listen. My phone has to be there with me always. One day we have to do without phone. Na? Oh, ho, ho. Modern definition of upvas is no phone. Try it. Literally you will be near Bhagavan after that. Upavasa means that. Otherwise right now I am doing upvas with the phone, meaning I am very close to phone every day. Upvas means being close. Be close to Bhagavan, not a phone. Use it. It's a technology means, that's all. To communicate. Beyond that, what it is? No. It has become a psychological thing, right? Any sorrow I have with my son is not listening to me, Swamiji. The issue is not your son is not listening to you. The issue is son is not listening to you. That is the issue. The ego is the issue there. I am attached that my son has to listen to me. If he is not listening to me, that means that my upbringing is in a problem. I didn't bring him up well. Where did I go wrong? Hare Baba, he has come with his or her baggage. Why are you so insistent? But no. On the marriage also, on that education also, on going abroad also, or staying here, everything that parent has to interfere. And that son goes on thinking. And in India we say that children grow out of their childhood, but parents don't grow out of their parenthood. The son is 60-year-old, the father is 85 years old, still the father is going on advising the son. Arey Baba. So any relationship issue, object issue, situation issue, any issue if you see, it will come down to what? The sorrow is because of attachment. Greater the attachment, greater is the sorrow. So Grhasthashram is to get us detachment. What else is the Grhasthashram for? I got into it to become detached. So if I get into something, that objective should be fulfilled or not. If I get into it and get more and more and more and more attached, then what is the point of getting into it? And detachment doesn't mean disinterest. I do my best and leave the rest. That is called detachment. I should know I have done my best now. Nothing more I can do. If I can do still, I will do. But beyond this, it is their life. Can't do more than that. If that clarity comes, how much peace will come? How much one will turn within easily? One knows this much is what I can do. Beyond this, I can't do anything. They will learn in their own time what they have to do, they will do. See, the best part is, whether we accept this or not, life is that way only. People are going to do what they have come here to do, no? How much can we go on insisting? They will anyway do what they have to do as per their karma. Was anybody able to stop Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra, including Bhagwan himself? Did Bhagwan not try his best?
Yes.
Did Bhagwan feel low saying, "Arey, I am not able to convince this Dhritarashtra, I am God of the universe, मेरी बात नहीं सुन रहे? अरे भगवान की बात लोग नहीं सुनते, हमारी बात क्यों सुनेंगे? Because they have come with their karma. How much baggage they have come with? One interesting anecdote I read somewhere, that this Bhishma Pitama, he was lying on the bed of arrows, right? So they asked him, now this is not that Mahabharata, this is a general forward that comes. I have not yet read fully the Mahabharata, so I am not very this thing about it, but I have not heard this in the actual Mahabharata, where I have heard some people talking on the whole Mahabharata who have read it. So they didn't mention this. There was some general thing which came about. So they asked him that, you have Ichha Mrityu Vardhan. Why are you going through so much of pain? Why don't you just drop the body? So one reason that people generally give is because he was waiting for Uttarayan. But Bhishma Pitama said, no. Uttarayan is I don't have to wait for that. I am actually on the bed of arrows because I have served these Kauravas. I have eaten the food they have given me. And that impure blood is there in my body. That impure blood has to drain. Then I will get purified. So I am exhausting the karmas that I have accumulated by serving them who are doing adharmic things. So when that blood and all has gone out, he says, now when Yudhishthir came and asked him about Ko Dharma Sarva Dharmanam Bhavata Paramo Mata, all that he asked, the 7 questions he asks in Vishnu Sahasranam. Then Vishnu Sahasranam is the answer to those questions. He says, Krishna is in front of me and I am able to chant the Vishnu Sahasranam because I was in the bed of arrows for so long. From 10th day onwards, he is lying on the bed of arrows. 18th day to war got over. After that, Bhagwan tells Yudhishthir and he goes and asks. He says 8-10 days, that blood is all going out. Now, because of the result of that, I am able to have darshan of Krishna and chant this Vishnu Sahasranam. He gives that as one of the reasons. So the point is this, that how much one will do, one can't stop. The destiny of people, where one will stop. So better it is we become detached. The faster we become detached, the better it is for us. If you look at one thing that the whole Mahabharata teaches us, it is this: be detached. Every single person who has fallen because of some attachments. It may be even a sattvic attachment. Yudhishthira had a sattvic attachment to dharma. He fell. Dronacharya was attached to his son. He fell. Bhishma was attached to his oath. He fell. Every single person, whoever, whatever they are attached to, that becomes the cause of their downfall. Two people who are not attached. One is Vidur, one is Krishna. Completely detached. Vidur did not blink an eye. He left the Kauravas and he went. He told them what was right to be done. They didn't listen to him. Duryodhana was very upset with him. Vidur went. In Bhagavatam, if you read, he went. If you read Mahabharata, he left them and he went on a Tirtha Yatra. He said, I will not fight. Went. So the point is, as a Grhasthi, through all these sadhanas, what should I do? Become detached minded. Every minute ask, am I living in detachment or not? What are the things which are making me bound? What are that which are holding me back? What are the things that make me miserable? What is my attachment? I have to find out that. What makes me compromise? When I know what is right and I still do what is wrong, what is the attachment that makes me compromise? Grhastha is to help us to get out of all these. That's the sadhana of a Grhasthi. And when that sadhana is, how does one know it is, we are progressing properly on the path of Grhastha? So in the Gita, Bhagavan gives 3 points in 6th chapter. He says, Na indriyartheshu shajjate. When a person is not attached to sense objects, no cravings for them. One may enjoy them but is not hankering after them. Na karmasu anushajjate. Not very restless to work and do something all the time. Is able to be by oneself, sit quietly, be detached, remember Bhagavan, find joy in solitude. Nothing wrong in being with people, but one doesn't feel, oh, how can I be alone? There are people who are very scared of being alone. They can't be alone. If nothing, phone has to be there, talk to somebody, something has to be, I can't be alone. The person has no such issue. With people, happy. Without people, happy. So no restlessness to work, no attachment to sense objects, and no fanciful imaginations. That when I go there, I will be more happy. If I become this, I will be more happy. If I get that, I will be more happy. One may have goals in life, one may want to achieve some things, no problem with that. But that does not define me. That can manifest my potential, that can help me to serve the society more, that can create a more, sattvic environment. It will exhaust my rajasic karmas. But I don't need anything from that. It is purity of mind which is more important. If one understands this, one will be more peaceful, more happy, more cheerful, more loving, more selfless. That is the progress of. If one will stop getting hurt on very petty issues, so sensitive one used to be earlier, not that much sensitive anymore. One is caring, loving, but not oversensitive, getting hurt very easily, taking long time to forgive, holding on to that grudge, wanting some revenge, all this will reduce. And says, what is the point? And don't you see that happening? Very tragic in life is, if you see, when that person is alive, one goes on fighting with that person, talking bad about that person and doing all kinds of, dvesha vyavahar with them. When that person has died, then who goes in the condolence meeting and says, how nice this person was. We're really going to miss this person. Arey, what kind of a behavior is that? That person was alive that time, you didn't even smile at that person. Now going there and remembering. Some people do it out of hypocrisy, some people genuinely feel also. But then one is like, arey, whole time they were there, one didn't behave only properly, then one regrets. Why did I hold this grudge for so long? So all that will go. That's the success of a Grhasthi. When detachment comes, when one wants to think more of Bhagavan, and that's why I will end with this one line. People who get into Grhasthi, Sitaji's father, Janak Maharaj, what did he tell her? When her marriage was done to Bhagavan Ram, he said, Iyam Sita Mama Suta Sahadharmacharini Tava. This daughter of mine who is Sita will walk the path of Dharma with you. And what is the purpose of walking the path of Dharma? Is to realize Brahman, is to realize moksha, is to know who am I. So if two people going into Grhasthi, they understand this, walk the path of Dharma, help each other on the path of Dharma, they are well on their way to attain mukti. They will live as spiritual seekers only. Spiritual parenting people have started talking about. Spiritual marriage they should talk about. Honestly. If spouses look at each other as co-seekers and walking the path of Dharma to realize the self, or whatever is the definition of truth, self, God, whatever, mukti, anything, then that life will be very harmonious. Swamiji, one is a spiritual person, one is an absolute materialist person. Now what to do now? Now in this, the spiritual person has to understand that the person who is a material person at this moment is also exhausting some karma or not. Now if you happen to marry that person, now what can you do? You can't live frustrated saying, this fellow is a materialistic fellow, doesn't interested only. And the more you say that, the more the fellow will not be interested. Because what is your spirituality doing? They will question that. Your spirituality is excluding me. I don't want such a spirituality. Whereas actually spirituality is not excluding. Spirituality is a all-inclusive thing. It says even that person who is a non-believer or who is somebody so-called sinner is also still evolving only. You may not go and support them in their adharmic actions, but don't have to say that this is outside spirituality. It is all-inclusive. It is not justifying a behavior, it is not encouraging adharma, but if somebody has some desire, it's all right. They will evolve at that time, at their own time. May not be very easy to practice. They may expect in a certain way for us to behave and certain way not to behave, all that, but that's the tuning, communication, talk one has to have. So slowly if we do this, walk the path of Dharma. Grhastha is a beautiful state of life which can bring more vairagya, bhakti and seva. Then one should prepare for vanaprastha and become vanaprastha. Today's context, what is the meaning of being vanaprasthi? It does not mean leave and go to forest. It only means turn more inside. Give up certain controls, give up certain insistence, give more suggestive ideas, not insisting ideas. You can suggest this is a possibility, this can be done. If they do it, great. If they don't do, their choice. This control, if one stops, otherwise one wants to have control till the last minute. For what joy? This is Grhasthi's life, is this. It's the sadhana. So that's where I will stop. Anything anybody wants to ask, share, welcome.
Swamiji, in the West, one recent example is of Queen Elizabeth, right? That's her name.
Yeah.
Who passed away recently at the age of 94 or something, and she kept the throne till the end. So their reasoning will be that she did her duty till the end, and it is something very great. Whereas if we look at our tradition, she would have given it up maybe 20 years ago or even earlier and handed it over to her son. Now he has become king at the age of 74 or something.
Correct.
How do you
See, that's why that culture difference is there. As you said, if they have that as a thing that you do duties till the end,
That's because they don't know.
they don't have the vanaprastha. See, even in our culture, there are enough people, even after knowing vanaprastha, etc., they don't drop their control, they continue till the end. So that's the human nature which is there in both the places. But like you said earlier, if it is known to us, na, at least we will start thinking in that way. See, is that not happening even in other places? You just think honestly, what our country would have been if Modi ji had not come to power. You think about it. There was a power tussle there in the party for the 2014 elections. But finally, it came to that Modi ji was finally chosen as a Prime Ministerial candidate. If that had not happened, we would not have been in this better condition today that we are. We would have been somewhere else. We would have been better off than what was, but not to this level we would not have been. So there was a power tussle there, but somehow it prevailed. So if the clarity is there, then one will figure out. That's why the knowledge is important. And that's why it's very important to know that from where does my sense of self-esteem come? Is it coming from the chair am I holding or from me as a person? If that one simple thing is understood in life, forget Brahma Gyan and all that. If I value, so why is it called self-esteem? Self-esteem means my esteem comes from me, not from my qualification, from my degree or from my achievement, from the wealth I have, from the number of people who follow me. It doesn't come from that. People may follow me or may not follow me. I may have today a lot of wealth, tomorrow I may have less wealth. But that does not mean I, as a person, am lesser or greater because of this. That simple fact, if we understand, we will not have problem in letting go of many things. Why do we hold on to many things? Because we want from that a sense of validation, a sense of power, a sense of achievement, or a sense of well-being. So that continue till the end, then one will not drop.
So those countries, when they don't look at that I'm going to now give up this duty and think about God, because for them that is not an aim like it is for us. Then what will they do, right? If she gives up the throne, what is she going to do? Is that the reason why they hold on?
Correct. That's one. So that is one reason. That's one of the main reasons. Second is one may even be doing some things possibly, so I can't judge on that. So one may be even, but the concept of moksha is not clear. No? The concept of moksha is, there it is just going to heaven and there's only one life there.
So for them they will only praise something like that. They will
Correct.
praise it. They'll say she did her duty till the end.
Bas.
For them it's a good thing.
For them it is, but it will be again a politically good thing to say. Honestly, if you ask me. Deep down in the mind of some of the people, it will be like, what is this? Now my time is going, her time is going, she is not dropping, when will I become the king? It will go like that.
Yes.
I think over there, even the Prime Minister's power.
See, that is, as far as countries, the ruling is concerned, that Prime Minister may have and the cabinet will do or whatever their parliament is.
She's just got a title.
But that title is
It is a very
big thing, na? How many things are happening through that? The Prime Minister will go and meet the
Yes.
Queen and get the approval and whatever.
Swamiji, I wanted to ask you one question. You made a very good point here where you said, look at your spouse as a co-seeker and together walk the path of dharma. At the time of, the marriage or before, there should be like some class where, the couple should actually be going through some of these lessons, because then your entire lifetime, that maybe you would have squabbled, how you looked at each other, a lot could have changed. Just, if that, your vision was slightly altered and, pointed you in the right direction. So
Swamiji is next assignment after Grhasthashrama.
Yeah, it's there.
Swamiji
Correct.
will say join the chick classes.
No, so joint chick class is one aspect, but today there is definitely a need to
There's a very big need,
educate the couples getting into
To
marriage.
understand the goal of marriage
Correct.
via scripture.
Why marriage? What is Grhastha? How to be in the Grhastha? All that. One has to create a
We are
module.
going blindly into it without
No, because
any clue.
Even earlier one was going blindly into it
Yeah,
only.
yeah.
Where is the Vedic knowledge being given? Tell me 3 generations, where is the Vedic knowledge?
Correct, Swamiji, but there was some acceptance and something that kept you in it, and I know maybe society pressure.
Correct.
or
It may be
what.
so conditioning, social
Cultural
conditionings, it may be a family
And there was
tradition.
no Western influence that great. Nowadays the Western influence is
Yeah, that is too much. And the sad part is the young people are not understanding something, that the Western influence is one aspect, but there is a vested interest behind some of that. That is not clearly understood. Some of the left institutions are wanting to destroy the cultures across the country. Means across the world, sorry.
leftist, you say.
The leftists, they want to destroy institutions of marriage. See, they are against any institution. Marriage they don't want, families they don't want, they are breaking up families. They don't want marriages to happen. They are not wanting parents and children to live harmoniously. They are suing each other. Then there is, they want to destroy the institution of education, of government. Now tell me which is the positive influence that the left has on the people? Nothing.
Nothing.
There is no problem if something is going wrong and you want to fight for the rights and help the people who are being oppressed. But this has taken a different turn. How much people are talking about gender identity and
Too much.
it is today, forget gender identity, now people are doubting whether they are even human beings.
Yes.
Fellows are going around wearing dog suits everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
One teacher is
Yeah.
saying, one student is saying in the school, teacher went and told the student, why are you making this sound? He was making meow, meow in the class.
Yes.
That student is saying, I am offended. How can you ask me this? I identify as a cat today. You can't talk to me like a human, you have to talk to me like a cat.
Yeah.
Arey, pagal hai?
Pagal.
Literally, these systems are going for a toss because of
Yes.
these fools. And young people are not understanding these things. That there is a systematic agenda to destroy these institutions of family, of marriage, of schools, of teacher, of education.
I'm trying to understand, are you talking like of communism, for example, in China or Russia?
See, communism was a different thing altogether. Karl Marx communism, today which communist is even following? It has fallen across Russia everywhere. China got communism, they are dictatorship that is going on there.
Massive.
Where, look at Kerala, look at West Bengal. Communism is meant for the social help and equal this thing for all. Where is it? Equal for all. Kidhar hai?
So when you talk about giving up and letting go, how do you know that you are doing it?
When
See,
you
I
are
might
more
think
happy.
I might think that I'm letting go, right? And I think that I have reached this stage and I am self-realizing over. But my behavior, I feel, I can be deluding myself, right? My family doesn't feel the same. How do you know? How it was?
See, it's very simple. Na? If I am holding this, now if I keep on holding this, it will create weight or not. The weight is same, but it will appear more and more and more and more heavier. The moment I put it down, I feel so much more lighter. Same way, if I am holding on to something, it will definitely affect me. If I let go of it, I will be relaxed, I will be more happier, I will be more at peace, I will be able to even listen to my family members more clearly and explain to them what I am going through so that they will feel, and also I will show it in my behavior. All this will happen if I have let go. It will not bug me at all. If I really let go of it, it will not bother me at all. And my behavior will be absolutely reflecting that. If it is not reflecting that, that means I have not let go of it. I am only saying, like you said, it's an illusion of letting go, but I am still holding on to it. If I am not free of thought about it, if I am not free of comparisons about it, that means I have not let go. It is still there.
And if they are getting affected by their actions,
Yeah, yeah.
that means they're still attached. But if they don't get affected,
If somebody is doing something opposite to what I am wanting, and if I am not let go of it, it will cause me sorrow. So that means that I am still attached to it.
So we need to reflect ourselves to see whether we are actually doing what we are supposed to do.
Definitely. I have to reflect, and one of the ways is that turn the mind to something higher, something else, and absorb with that. Sort it out mentally. I am not saying escape from this. Sort it out mentally and then let go of it, saying it's done. My job is done here now. I don't need to. Like see how when we reach a destination, we get up and walk out. Suppose you go to, or let us say from here you went to Chennai. You go in the flight there, you are sitting there till you reach. Once you reach there, what do? Get up and go. Khatam. Once you have done what you have to do, it doesn't bother anymore after that. The thought only will not come. At least on that issue. I may think about that person because if that's my daily relationship with the family or whoever it is. On that issue I am done. Till that topic doesn't come, I won't even think about it.
Swamiji, the divorce rates are so much happening for the youngsters especially. So, is it because of the ego? There's no commitment, no honesty, no nothing between.
Actually, Swamiji, I was making that point that more than all this, so much that two people are coming. They come from different backgrounds. It's not necessarily they come from the same. Especially if it's not an arranged marriage within a community, if it's from out. The upbringing can be very different, it can be very challenging. So what you said is like we are defining certain common goals and this is what we have to walk. So that can ease a lot of pressure. Otherwise, because of the so much differences, with time it's just got bigger and bigger. So
Correct.
that was where
No, I agree with that. So that's why certain common principles on which one should base the relationship as well as the future goals, at least those can be set properly. Then anyway one is free to pursue each one their own goals of life, but specific goal of life, if the clarity is there, then it will help a lot also in everything, and that will help children, it will help the environment, the family, the society, everything. It will come from there.
because this co-seeking you said had probably I practiced it when I got married. By the time my kids had come, they would have seen it a lot before then, what they actually saw, which happened to me 12 years back. So
Correct.
it can have it's very effective if, it's taught.
Correct. So next project after this Garbha Samskar I have to finish is this only.
I'm willing to help it.
Yeah, we will need help. Definitely we'll ask people. We'll create modules.
Yes.
6 course module. Level 1 course before marriage. Level 2 course immediately after marriage. Level 3 course after 10 years of marriage. Level 4 course after 30 years of marriage.
Yeah, between 25 and 30 years also many couples are separating. Between
Yeah.
25 and 30 years.
Correct. At each level you have to teach something else only. You can't teach same thing.
Issues are different.
Issues are different.
Emptiness.
And they are not needed anymore.
See, divorce rates are happening because what you said, no, the ego is high of people, clarity is not there, and also divorce rates are today happening because people have become very rigid
Intolerant.
and intolerant. They are not, so they don't know the difference between adjustment and compromise. They think adjustment means compromise.
No, they don't know adjustment or
Adjustment.
compromise.
अच्छा इतना वर्ष हो गया.
Either of them. Really.
Or they feel that compromise too much for 25 years and now I don't want to compromise
Correct.
anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's also on very petty things also.
Yeah.
Divorce is happening.
अरे I tell you, ऐसी चीज़ों पे डिवोर्स हो रहा है. Other day I was reading Rambo, na? Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
You read about his life. He wanted to have a pet dog, okay? His wife does not want him to have a dog.
Because the-
This fellow got the dog. She divorced him.
Wow.
Now this fellow, he had a tattoo of his wife's face on his hand, such a big muscular hand. He changed that to a dog's face. क्या हो रहा है ये?
Yeah.
You don't know whether to laugh or to cry.
Really?
Ridiculous.
One lady asked her boyfriend, that let's go to this particular shop, I forgot the name of the shop. Some shop, she said, let's go there. So the boyfriend said, yeah, you want to go, let's go together. This lady got offended.
Huh?
Yeah. She said, you must want to go there. You should not be so suggestive that only I want to go there, so you are accompanying me. This is male chauvinism, that you are always supporting women and you think you people are only there. She left him. I said,
Huh?
kya hai ye?
Yeah.
This is all happening.
Yeah. Actually, it has become very common.
It is so terrible. Small things like this. All goes to show that there is some confusion in their head about themselves also, about
Yeah, right.
Very true.
what is patriarchy, what is not patriarchy, what is something which is gender bias and which is not. कोई clarity नहीं किसी को.
So now they are talking only of sexism and racism and
But it all stems from the lack of knowledge.
Yes, absolutely.
Lack of knowledge one and lack of inner security.
Yes.
कोई inner security नहीं, कुछ नहीं अंदर.
Yeah.
That is,
It just shows that you are not anchored within. Na?
Yeah.
You are looking at something and then continuously feeling neglected,
Yeah.
disturbed, taken for a ride. Why is that happening?
and what of social media influence?
So much.
So much.
Putting all false things out there.
Yes, totally.
How difficult it is even to know whether the person whom you are chatting with, who is that person? पता ही नहीं चलेगा. You finally end up meeting that person, you think, I thought he was a boy. Girl lands up there. And the girl thinks he's a girl, boy thinks he's a girl, and the boy lands up there. पता नहीं क्या करते हैं. That one of the main reasons, that's why more spirituality is needed is today for this reason only, because where the level of thinking and understanding of people is not even at a superficial level. It has gone to
it's gone
much more
crazy.
superficial, crazier levels.
There's no spirituality.
One really wonders कि भाई ऐसा भी हो सकता है लाइफ में. I never. अभी तो इतना अचरज हो रहा है. I am feeling so much wonder stuck at this time, at right now in this stage of evolution here of this world, where it is going in some other direction only. पता नहीं आगे क्या होने वाला है. Because now, do you know, there's a movie also which has come. I have not seen it. I heard about it, but there are other things also which I have come to know. They have created robots who will understand you, and this one fellow has married a robot.
What?
Yeah, that robot is the woman who understands this fellow completely.
And she'll do whatever he
So he is very happy that I will marry this. Why will I want a human being? Companionship चाहिए ना मैरिज के बाद. ये है मेरे साथ. अब जो एलेक्सा था, अब ये जो सिरी है, वो तो सिर्फ फोन में है. अब तो एक्चुअली पर्सन है who is using artificial intelligence. They have created proper, and the more you interact with that person, the more they will understand about you and your temperament.
Yeah.
They will behave as per you want.
Wow.
This fellow is very happy. He is married.
No friction. No?
2 years back or 1.5 years back, you heard about that Gujarati lady who married herself.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Huh?
She married herself.
In Ahmedabad.
She married herself.
And her
Yeah.
parents supported her also, I think. Isn't it?
Parents supported her. She went to honeymoon with herself. And she celebrated 1 year of her marriage with herself.
And there was a serial there was a serial called Made in Heaven. They show this. A
That I
serial
don't
called
know.
Made in Heaven, and they show this girl marrying herself and all that.
अच्छा. Oh बाप रे. I am telling you, जितना जल्दी मुक्ति पा के निकल जाओ यहाँ से. पागल खाना बन रहा है ये. वैराग्य देने की तो बात छोड़ो. Mental sanity will have to
Boy,
maintain
that's what I'm
first.
saying.
क्या हो रहा है यार?
Parallel you. I mean, this is only not gone.
Imagine what we are talking about, 4 ashrams of life and Grhastha, Brahmachari, Sannyas, this, that, people are doing
That
something.
doesn't exist in this.
After all this, finally is entertainment only, और क्या होगा उसमें? Even if you find such a robot who helps you and this and that, and finally it is what? Do you know who you are?
No.
That nobody can escape. That's why the best is this only. Be devoted to the pursuit of who am I. Whether you do it through knowledge, whether you do it through bhakti or through seva, whatever it is, find out who am I in my true nature. Bas. Then life is successful. Otherwise, so Kenopanishad says, having got a human body, if we have not known the truth, great opportunity is
It's gone.
wasted. Because there is no content, there is no guarantee when next human life will come. When? We don't know. First of all, human beings will exist on this planet or not by the time we want to come back is a big question. Stephen Hawking said humanity will be lucky to survive 100 years. Where 100 years we are going to survive now? The way the things are going. तो अगला ह्यूमन जन्म कब मिलेगा पता नहीं. बेस्ट इज साधना करो, मुक्ति प्राप्त करो. बस.
Swami, I had a question on meditation. Can I ask?
Last one, yeah.
Swami,
Because I have eaten my dinner, they all have to eat.
So I mean, I can do it one to one. if
Yeah, you
want.
tell me, you finish it.
So Swami, the last 30 days we did that meditation. We did a lot of variations. This thing in terms of how we went about it, how we started. Some of the earlier steps that we were doing, we skipped it at a later stage. From chanting Om Namah Shivaya, all that we did, to at the end we focused on the contemplation. So I have a couple of questions on that. So if I have to progress on meditation, which I've been doing for years, I've been doing like the same thing till we did this Shiva meditation that we did. So seeing all the variations, I'm just thinking how, like when I'm going forward, how do I go about the meditation? With 30 days, so many variations we did.
See, the variations are to understand different types of possibilities which are there, and different things will suit different people. Basic steps remain the same. 10 steps remain the same.
Yeah.
Whichever mantra suits you, first you have to freeze that. Stick to that mantra only. Whatever is your Ishta mantra. You don't have to do.
So I used to do with Lord Krishna, but after we did these 30 days, I found the experience, quite elevated also when we did this, getting up.
That is only because of the guided steps.
Yeah.
You follow the same steps and replace the mantra with your mantra.
Okay.
It will work. And also, if it helps, you can record one audio
Okay.
following the same steps
Okay.
and do the chanting with that, and then put that on and then listen and follow that guided steps as you are doing for the Shiva mantra meditation. So that can help. So mantra has to be frozen, and then you have to decide whether you want to go into step of contemplation also, or you want to be happy with the mantra chanting and thinking of the meaning of the mantra and remain in that duality mode. There's nothing higher or lower about it. Because what gives me the ability to remember Bhagwan and forget the ego, that is most important. For some it may be the name of Bhagwan is enough and thinking of Sagun Sakar Roop is enough to make them lose their sense of ego. For some it will help with Nirgun Nirakar. They want to go into that and they don't want to hold on to a form. But either case, the situation, the important criteria is where is my mind absorbed. And that you can do for as long as you like, even it can be a few months, years, no problem with that. And don't think that you are stuck in any of that. Because the depth will happen as long as you are paying attention, that's enough. Don't do it as a mechanical process. With bhav and with attention, as much as you can do, you do. It will evolve into its depth by itself. Even just the name chanting of Krishna mantra will lead you to Nirgun Nirakar Krishna Tattva also. That you don't have to worry, that Bhagavan will only do. But you only choose that which will engage your heart.
So the other thing I found, again because of the 30-day meditation, was the contemplation which we did on the Nirvana Shatakam. Again something I found myself quite absorbed, when we went through the 6 verses. But then I'm doing my Ishta is Lord Krishna, and then
That Krishna only is that Tattva also. Krishna only Sachidanand.
okay.
Krishna, you can apply all those 6 verses to the Nirgun Nirakar aspect of Krishna also. So you want to do that plus combine it with Nirvana Shatkam whenever you want to.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That is no problem.
No problem. And last question was, you took us from form to formless. So when I studied it at chapter 8, verse 9, he's given those 8 pointers to the consciousness. Yeah. In itself, each individually I studied them, and they are all kind of defined. But they say that to attain the final stage is something that is beyond the senses.
Correct.
So after studying even these 8 things, do I still keep thinking of these words because I'm trying to go to formless, and these are the words that kind of give you some pointers to that consciousness, and till I'm ready to drop the words, or how do I think about it? Because they are so diverse, the words from Kavim to
So
Puran.
you don't have to do all the words in one session.
Okay.
If you find that way they are diverse, you take only one line
Oh.
and contemplate on that. See, the words will drop the moment we come to the state it indicates. We may use the help of the words. We say, I am Kavim, I am the seer, I am not the seen. Then I am the seer. That sentence means what? I am the witness, I am the Sakshi, I am the consciousness. And stay there. Like how we used to speak a few lines connected to the word, and then we used to have silence in between. Because the mind should lift itself to that state. So you decide, you can even do half a line, half a quarter. Not half a quarter, it's a quarter, yeah. So 1/4, meaning just 1/4 of the verse. You don't have to complete the whole verse. If the words are very diverse and many words,
So I could say this
Kavim Puranam
Purana,
Anushasataram.
which would cover then the birthless, changeless, deathless within that, because it's before time.
Correct.
And it will exist after. So that's something then easier for me to think of formless.
Correct, so then go to that. Ensure that it does not become a verbal exercise alone. The mind should live to say that I am that changeless consciousness which is ever new, which is not controlled by time, which is eternal. So I am that. I am not this body which is changing. So use the words, contemplate for some time, then drop the words. It will go by itself. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. So Vipulji and Aparnaji, this is for you. This is Ramcharitmanas commentary of Guruji.
Wow.